So about a week later, Jonathan moved down to Nicaragua. I held the fort up in New York. We opened our first factory. It was about 600 square feet. And it wasn't much, but it was all ours. And we had a very good friend of ours, Kiki Berger, who basically said whatever tobacco, he had a farm and a factory in Nicaragua as well. And he said, whatever tobacco that I have, mine is yours. And he said, take whatever tobacco you need. Because we didn't have money for tobacco even.
Beautiful, though.
So,
you never would have heard that 5 years earlier.
well, you know, this was purely out of friendship. And that's why to this day, seeing people come up behind us, starting to get into the industry, if it's someone that we feel
That you appreciate.
that we appreciate the hard work they're putting, and we think they're good characters, we try to help them out as well.
Excellent. Now, let's fast forward to the acid line. Tell me a little bit about that.
That happened right there. So what happened was, here we are, we have our own factory now. We have tobacco. But by late 1998, the cigar boom that took place from about 94 to 97, 98 had completely collapsed.
I remember that. There was a time when you would go to a cigar dinner, some guy would bring his lady, she would get a few extra cigars, some premium cigars, she'd push them down into her purse, you'd hear them crunching, you'd
Or
almost
down her
cry.
bra.
Yeah. And there was a time when you would almost shed a tear over something like that, and then everything collapsed, the market collapsed, and you've got a glut.
Now there was a complete glut in the cigar industry. There were hundreds of millions of premium cigars that didn't have a home. So everybody was liquidating. Who at this point are a couple of guys from Brooklyn going to be able to make it on this market when brands and companies that have been around for a century were suffering? So we started thinking about what can we do that was different in the industry. And that's when we started working with tobacco in a very different way. And through trial and error and the ideas that we thought at the time could come true, we developed our infusion process, where we infuse different ingredients into a long-filled premium cigar.
Now, a lot of guys have the mistaken impression that your infusion is like a dipped cigar or something like that.
Not
You
at
guys
all.
don't do anything like that.
Well, you know, if it's hard. People ask me what is infusion, and it's very difficult to explain in a simple answer. But let me give you just some sort of idea. If you eat a raw mushroom, you know, you take a porcini or any type of mushroom, portobello. You eat it raw. It doesn't taste like much, right? But now add some sesame oil, some chopped garlic, some onions, peppers, some shrimp or pork or chicken, and mix that all together. And you taste that mushroom, and it's bursting with flavor. Now, why is that? That's because the mushroom is taking on all of the flavors and exotic tastes of its environment while it's cooking. In the same token, a tobacco plant absorbs the aromas in the air just like a mushroom does. So by taking that concept and
It takes on its environment.
yes, tobacco absolutely takes on its environment, and that's what led us to the inspiration behind our infusion process. And this was now July of 1999. We went to our annual trade show, the Retail Tobacco Dealers of America, and we released acid, and it was a hit. And from these humble beginnings, this year, Drew Estate will roll in excess of 13 million cigars. Should be about 15 million cigars next year. And
And are you able to keep up with demand?
within some brands, we have been able to keep up with demand eventually. See, we always were behind the eight ball. In 2007, we opened up the largest factory in Nicaragua. It's one of the 4 largest premium cigar factories on the entire planet. It's called La Gran Fabrica Drew Estate, and it's located in Esteli. It's 98,000 square feet. We have our own hotel on the grounds. It's called Cigar Safari. You're invited, just if you come to drewestate.com, you're invited to check us out and come on down and visit. And all the details are there on the website.